I would say the urban transformations in the Waterloo region are quite dramatic. It was a very, very suburban site when we first arrived there. As a consequence, obviously, the built form has changed.
This is interesting to see how Waterloo focused a lot on architecture. That's something that didn't happen much. We can imagine that from large cities like Toronto or Montreal.
What's happened at Urban Caroline, I mean, it has become a center of excellence for thought leadership in the universe, in the world. And these things are now by design. The city had competed for this opportunity to build the clay and glass. I think it began to set a more national, if not international, standard of design, and began, I think, through its very being, to educate people that there was a world beyond what we presently knew. What you're seeing here is the building penetrated with natural light. Its basis is the materiality of the things it exhibits, in terms of the concrete and the concrete block that supports the building, wood and metal, steel. So very much, you know, those concepts drawn from the clay, glass, and enamel arts.
The building, we felt, was very much a background for the thinking that would go on there. On the inside, we took what was a somewhat symmetrical composition and tried to imbue it with a good level of asymmetry as well, to really address the idea of the complexities of the times we live in. And everything is focused, obviously, on the courtyard and then these glimpses to the exterior. So that kind of oscillation between the outside world and the sanctuary. Academic buildings are all about social and intellectual engagement. And the architecture can make a huge difference. It's all in the public space of the architecture.
The great thing about this project is nothing was really clear at the beginning. The idea has to come from the architecture itself of the place to give it a clear identity. It's like the heart of the building is made of concrete and is kind of protected by the different layer. On one side, something that is difficult to understand, and on the other side, very open. Because this is the only way you can say, okay, there's one guy working there, the other guy is working here, and by pushing the object this way and this way, you express their individuality. We knew at the beginning that the building we're doing is the first one, and probably, or perhaps, or possibly, will be the architect of a second phase or not the architect of a second phase. The question is how you do it.
We were asked to create the ideal space to imagine the beginnings of the universe. Physics developed as a series of disciplines, and one of the key ideas of the Stephen Hawking Center is to bring specialists from each of those disciplines together in one space and create a high level of interaction, discipline to discipline. The building is really conceived as three zinc pods that are broken down and interconnect with one another, and that all open up overlooking Silver Lake. And where they open, the building is gold-tinted glass, which articulates the expansion as one whole, signifying the bringing together of the scientists into one creative, energetic entity. The original building is very, very beautiful. Ours is really, really fun. I find those kind of relationships where The new connects closely to something that's already there. Very, very exciting. It's an opportunity to create a conversation. Our building on its own would not be as interesting as the two together.
When you create a building or an institution from scratch, and you built a building first, this is the first thing that people have contact with. Architecture has that responsibility sometimes, is to be the first moment of creation of something.
I believe that this collection of architecture speaks to a greater good, you know, another place. And for me, I'm transported each time I come here, even though I've been here hundreds of times.